Hello, my name is Tatyana Webb, and this is Off the Record, brought to you by Nana Music Productions. Today, we have an awesome guest in the studio today. We have Christian Leichenhauer. He was one of our interns this fall semester in 2025, and he is a amazing sound engineer and soon to be certified pyrotechnician. Christian, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really great. I'm really grateful that I can have the opportunity to come on here and talk to you about some things.
Well, it's an honor to have you on the show. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, you were amazing this last fall. I mean, when I tell you work ethic is just like not even a discussion point with you because you are just so amazing and like it was it was so easy working with you this last fall. So the fact that you are working with us with your sound engineering now degree and soon to be with your like pyrotechnician stuff like that, it's just I'm so excited to have you on the team. So but talking about internship, can you tell us a little bit about your experience on your end from working with us in the fall?
Yeah, being able to work with Nana Music Productions as an intern was an invaluable experience for me. I was able to work with you guys across pretty much all of the individual departments. I spent most of my time in A&R, which my degree never really focused on the business side of things. So getting that opportunity to really broaden my horizons and know how things go behind the scenes really helped inspire me to figure out how can I make myself stand out in the music industry and make myself be the most valuable and efficient to any individual company that I may be contracted to work with in the future.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, again, thank you again for being with us last fall. I'm so happy that we could add to your education experience and to that kind of like behind the curtain kind of style of insight to the industry. But I do want to go a little bit into your background a bit. So, can you tell us a little bit about what got you into music? We know you're this amazing sound engineer, but what got you into being a sound engineer or wanting to pursue that as a career?
I guess it started a really long time ago. I remember when I was and at this point in my life when I was this young, I didn't even think or put the 2 and 2 together. I don't come from a musical family. A lot of the people in my college and the people that I worked with coming through, they were always like, "Yeah, my parents did music. My parents were in band and all that." But, I never had that experience. I was kind of an outsider coming in to it. But I remember when I was really, really young, we had gone to Disney World and it was like being teleported to another world. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm a kid, ooh, wonderment and everything. Truly down to the bare bones, it felt completely immersed and different. And I had noticed that it wasn't the way that they designed the physical structures. It wasn't the way that they had those underground corridors so you didn't see the people that worked in Tomorrowland in the wrong area. It was the the speakers they had set up throughout the park that was pumping in sound and music to help immerse you even further. And that after that experience, I remember I would go home and my parents got me this little CD. It was a John Williams CD that explained the composition and sound design for the Star Wars trilogies with featuring like John Williams and all that.
Yeah.
And I watched that nonstop. I watched it until it couldn't read in the DVD player anymore. And, eventually, I got to 7th grade and I joined band, because I always had an issue. My parents were always like, "You never stick with anything. You always try something, you never stick with it." And I was like, "I'll try band." And they're like, "Oh, well, I don't know. You probably won't stick with it." Well, 20 years down the line, and here I am still
Mm.
doing it. But, I studied education originally when I started college in 2015. I did 4 years. I almost got to the end of my degree, and I don't know, something happened, probably with COVID and all that. I felt disheartened
Mhm.
by me. I felt like, am I doing the right thing? Is this what I want to do? Is it all worth it and everything? So I actually, for a while there, I stopped music altogether.
Yeah.
Um, Probably for about 8 or 9 months, and then I don't know, something clicked. Because prior to that, I was always like, I need to be better. I need to do better. I'm not good enough, blah blah blah. And then something just snapped at me and I was like, I love sound. I just love sound. I love writing music. I love playing music. I love designing noises. I loved like the creation aspects of it all. So I I came back and I came back as a music industry major with the goal that because I never wanted to be I never wanted to be the star. I never wanted to be the person on the front of the stage, but I wanted to make it happen. And I also noticed through COVID that the only thing that really survived, if not thrived better, was the music industry. And how could I, as an individual, provide the sound, the music, all of that to the people? Because in my opinion, the important thing is getting the art to the person.
Yeah.
And I'm not the best singer. You know, I never afforded lessons when I was little. I can hold my own. You know, I've done choir and all that, and I was in a cover band. I played bass guitar, and I've done a lot. I'm very well traveled in what I do, but it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like that's where I needed to be. And I think the best place that I could have been was to be on the other side of it, making sure it happened, whether it was through design, engineering, developments, whatever it was. That's where I wanted to be. So I stuck with it, and I really, really, truly enjoy what I do.
I love that. I mean, a lot of what you said is some of the same origins that our listeners have. They got that spark when they were young, and then their parents threw them in the band, and we it seems like everybody went to marching band. And we all go through that ebb and flow of trying to discover our purpose and trying to figure out what we're going to do with this life that we have. And you know for you to be able to go through that that realization period and being able to craft that into finding I love sound. I want to do more with that, and taking that step with your career, with your education, to be able to go through the steps to be able to make that happen. It's beautiful. And so like I said, you were amazing last semester, but I'll say it shows your character and it shows how you are doing everything you can to set yourself aside and set yourself apart and stand out from people who are, trying to do the same thing that you're doing. Because, you went to education, sure, but you're now in an industry that is cutthroat and it's hard to kind of get your feet wet. So, I kind of want to talk a little bit about a highlight that you're doing right now, which is that certification for your pyrotechnic. So that, I mean, obviously that's not sound, but there's still design to that. So can you tell us a little bit about your I guess the program and what you're trying to do to get that certification?
Yeah, the certification, it started about 2 years ago. I had come to the realization that like you said, it's not just the sound, it's
Hmm.
also the obviously audio visual, the visual aspect of things,
Yeah.
and it took me back again to when I was a kid and I was watching those, like, nighttime spectaculars, and it
Yeah.
was euphoric. I mean, there was a type of elation
Yeah.
tied to experiencing something like that, and so, I got with my advisor and I was like, I wanna look into pyrotechnics and getting my pyrotechnics license." And so they gave me some opportunities because, you don't I mean, obviously in the state of Alabama, you don't have to have the license or the certification. You can go to the fireworks stop and you can buy a bunch of fireworks and set them off in your backyard. You're completely allowed to do that. But
Yeah.
he got me with Mr. Dan Walters out of Smith Station, Alabama, and I've been in contact with him and to work on the testing. You can test and you can get there's open proc and there's closed proc shows, which is like in an open field or in an enclosed space.
Hmm.
There are two different levels. I'm actually going through PGI, Pyrotechnics Guild International.
Hmm.
They have they have classes and tests that you can take on there to get your certification
Hmm.
for pyrotechnics. But like in the state of Alabama, there's also the Pyrotechnics Shooter Law Code, and so
Yeah.
there's like licenses and there's expectations to keep. these certifications and allow yourself to keep your company going. Like, I believe it's like you have to do at least 2 shows a year to show that you're keeping up with how it goes and all that. And then there's obviously there's different. It breaks down. So the pyrotechnics licenses, they have the closed proc, the open proc. They also have flame control, like
Yeah.
flamethrowers. Like, you go to the concert and they have the big spouts that just shoot flames.
Yeah, I
So
want that at my next concert.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it's cool. Um, but it's also, it's dangerous. So I always lean on the safety. So it doesn't just stop with like the pyrotechnics. There are a lot of other safety certifications you can get. And that's kind of like my focus
Yeah.
in the industry is it's never just one certification that can make yourself stand out because, you know, there might be 400 people that have a pyrotechnic certification, but there's not 400 people that have pyrotechnics mixed with their OSHA certifications, mixed with the CPS certifications or those acoustician certifications, which that regulate like sound levels. What is it called? I got it right here. Um, occupational hearing conservationists.
Yeah.
Their whole thing is to be like, well, fireworks are loud,
Yeah.
very, very loud. I mean, they're, for lack of a better word,
They
they're
go boom.
explosives. Yeah. And so knowing like distance, mortar sizes, how much sound does this create? Will it overthrow the mixed in sound elements? Will it damage people's ears?
Yeah.
All of this is something that goes into more than just light a fuse, launch a mortar up in the air, and watch it go boom.
Yeah, you said something there that kind of piqued my ear a bit because you said like talking about the noise levels of it. So like, yeah, okay, sure, fireworks and all those things go boom, but to know the sound distance of that boom and if it bleeds into the like for example you mentioned Disney, so like I don't know if you got to see it when you were growing up, but the Wishes little show at Magic Kingdom, that made me cry every time. But the thing is they have music sound design going on in the middle of that with the fireworks, and so making sure that those explosions don't interfere with the magic or the show that's going on for the audience. And that technical aspect of engineering sound, even though you are showing the visual aspect, the sound of the boom is also being engineered in that moment as well. So that was a very interesting thing that I thought about when you were saying that. I was like, oh, that's also another deeper layer of this design aspect of you know, audiovisual and pyrotechnics and stuff like that. But you started talking a little bit about the certifications and stuff, and that's kind of what I want to explore today and to hear more from you about because this industry, like how I said, is cutthroat. It's we have to find ways to be able to stand out, and to be able to have certain certifications, it just builds our resume and our credibility, and it kind of allows for the versatility that we could have in this industry too. And that's something that our listeners, some people are so focused on, I'm going to be an artist or I'm going to be a producer, and they have their blinders on instead of thinking, okay, yeah, I can be, a producer, but I can also, do XYZ. And, there's different elements to this industry that you can be, very skilled in. Not saying that you don't master something and take focus away from what your primary mastery is, but to be able to get some extra oomph behind you, like that's important. So can we talk a little bit about some of those certifications and some of those things that people can start exploring and getting into?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's my biggest thing. My I guess my biggest passion when it comes to these certifications is the idea that it's not necessarily a jack of all trades, master of none, because you still have a focus when you do these certifications. Like if you want to be an artist, good, be an artist, but to be able to approach it from different aspects, it's I've noticed it sometimes in engineering. I call them impossible asks. because somebody who may not understand how the science, how the mathematics work, and how sound moves or how things interact within an acoustical system can cause miscommunications, which could make you lose time. And we all know time is money, and
Yeah.
so it's all important to know that we're trying to be efficient and safe. And so, like with in my perspective of things, um, one of my dream like my dream is to eventually be a sound designer for the Walt Disney Company, working with Imagineering.
You
But
hear
I
that,
don't
Walt
think,
Disney?
yeah, I'm here, Christian Thomas Leichenhauer, you know.
But go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, yeah, you're all good. You're all good. It wouldn't end with just a pyrotechnics license, or the other one that I'm super focused on right now is a certified technical serviceman license, which is about the installation, the design, and the consultation of low voltage electric systems, be it sound, security cameras, video, all of that, the integration of these sound systems, so then we can make it to the next step, which is the sound design.
Yeah.
But it doesn't just end there. Imagineer works a lot with robotics, so it's possible for me to get these lower level Python certifications,
Yeah.
or the CompTIA certifications, which deal with robotics.
Yeah.
Or like they're adding drone shows, so I was looking at the FAA Part 107 remote pilots and the Verge Aero drone licensing programs. These are all certifications that, even if I'm not directly working in this venue, to come in as a designer and be like, let's do this quote unquote impossible ask, which causes us to lose time. I'm then knowledgeable on what they're going through and what they have to deal with, and the limitations
Mhm.
to the software and the hardware that they're working with. So then I can work properly as a producer, manager, designer, so that we can efficiently integrate my ideas with their physical abilities.
Yeah, I like that. It reminds me of two things. So, funny enough, one of the things that I mentioned, I think it was in my last podcast, it was talking about one of my advice points was when you walk into any room, be the solution to something. So, or be their solution. So everyone has a question, a problem, not necessarily a problem, but just like a task, a mission. And you don't have to know everything about everything, but come in with the solution. What you're talking about is, these organizations and industry and these companies are doing these shows. They're going to be, like you mentioned, going for drones, going for XYZs. So how can you become that solution of, hey, I have the certifications, I have the knowledge to be able to step in and help build this as a partnership with you. Like I said, the certifications that you're doing makes you competitive when it comes down to, putting these visions together and making it happen. The second thing is, going back to, I mention him just about every podcast at this point, but our late professor, Robert W. Smith, he mentioned something in our rehearsals with Populous and Troy. He was like, you have to know everybody's part. And the part about that was, even if you're the second background vocalist, alto, whatever, you need to know what the bass is doing. You need to know what the drums are doing. You need to know every person's part, and you need to know what's happening on stage, because if you know what's going on, if you hear that piano went out or XYZ, you can step in and maybe sing a part that follows whatever melody line that they were playing. Or you can then know how to troubleshoot on site. And so, but also you can know how the show flows. And when your part does come in, and if somebody is sick, you know how to, negotiate, not negotiate, good grief, that's a whole other story. You know how to step in and fill in. And that is part of that team level mindset, and also that next level mindset that again sets you apart. And I think that is a big thing that a lot of people in this industry, and really just in people in general, they like, well, I know my part, or I'm just going to do what I'm going to do and what I'm supposed to be and responsible for. And it limits them, but it also limits the mission. It limits what the purpose is that we're trying to do. Like, for example, put a concert on, put a show on. If you only are focused on one area, you could limit the capacity of what impact that event or that show could have. If you walk in with all these certifications that you're talking about, and you are like, hey, not only am I a sound engineer, I'm a pyrotechnician, I've got all these other certifications with drones and all these other things, you become a monster asset to any entity that is trying to do anything live performance style on a grand level. So that makes you a beast. And that's awesome to be able to be on that mindset level, to be able to start getting those things now. And that's what I'm imploring for our listeners to do is don't just think and limit yourself to one area of the industry. Get yourself some, arms and some reach in some places so that way you can like have a little bit of standing power there. So I'm sorry I got on my soapbox, but it was just like, yeah, no, there's a big importance on having not just expertise in one field, but to have certifications that support what you are doing. So I'm sorry, you were talking about certifications.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. I think it's extremely important that anybody who's working, not just in the music industry or the audiovisual industry, really any job or career field, I think it's important to take a step back
Mhm.
and look not too broad. I'm not talking about like give me your 30-year life plan, but to take a step back and be like, who am I? What do I want to do and what do I want to accomplish within my career field? And then you can build these certifications around what you want to do and who you want to be. Um, and one of the best things about certifications is, these certifications, you redo them. A lot of them aren't permanent. And so it's a means of continuing education. It keeps you sharp because the music industry is a quickly and constantly changing field. Things are always coming out, new technologies are always being developed, and things are always being integrated, and the industry standard changes probably every day. Um,
Which
and
is,
so
yeah, I was just gonna make a quick point on that. It's like, which is why you can't say, "Oh, I learned that 10 years ago," and be like, "Yeah, I'm an expert." I'm like, "Nope, you got to keep learning constantly. You got to be a student of life at that point." Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly, and those certifications are that fire under you to keep you up to date with what's going on.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is possible to go too hard, and that's why I say take a step back and look at it before you start, spending your money on test booklets and going to these classes, because there are some certifications that could make you appear to be too spread thin. Like in my career field, I've had a serve safe certification before, but it's not imperative for my career field to be serve safe certified. I'm not planning on serving food in that capacity. I'm not going to be hands on. Even if I have an event that has food caterers, I trust them to have those certifications
Yeah.
because we all have our place and we all can do what we need to do, and it's good to be certified. Like I would rather, if I was hiring caterers, I would love to have caterers who are serve safe certified, who had their safety certifications. If I'm going to a public pool, I would hope that they all had their lifeguard certifications.
Yeah.
But I, as a sound engineer, don't need that lifeguard certification. Although I do always suggest get your CPR certification.
Do that.
Any
It
career field that you're
saves
in, it's
lives.
always, yeah. You never know when you would need it.
I need to get it.
I need to renew mine. I think mine just went out back in December. It's because it's 2-year certification. It's
But
not hard. It's an afternoon class.
kind of like how you were echoing, you're saying earlier, like just in the technical aspects, that you focus a lot on the safety aspects of your shows. Well, certifications, like there's a comfort and a safety net of sorts that, there's a reason why there's certifications because it's supposed to keep people safe, people, organized, things to stay on track. It keeps you sharp, all those things. And so it's there's a reason for them, and people have confidence in those certifications and make you more desirable to be hired. I mean, that's the reason why you don't hire the kid who has been, you know, you know, creating beats and stuff in his room by himself without any, education of some sort. Now, and here's the point of that. You can be self-taught, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine, but there is a little bit of a precedent when you do have that education, when you do have that well-rounded knowledge on, what you are doing. Like, there's nothing wrong if that's your path, if you just go self-taught, but it is better if you get those certifications because people can hang their hat on that. It's like, oh, you got your degree. Oh, you got XYZ. Okay, cool. Like, hey, that ticks off some boxes for us that put more credibility in your corner and makes it be like, oh, well, you were doing this for 4 years, 5 years, whatever. Okay, well, what does that look like? Like, what does that mean? Like, there's questions that can pop up. So it just there's a security in having those certifications in whatever you're doing. And I'm trying to make it as broad as possible because it could be with anything. I mean, right, you were mentioning you don't want a doctor coming in and saying, I'm gonna do your operation. I don't have my, doctor degree or anything like that or anything like that. I'm just gonna, go in and cut. I've been doing that for 20 years. I'm like, you're not touching me. So so yeah.
Right.
But well, I know we're rounding out on time, and I know we've talked about just a lot of like areas of this, but I want to just kind of close it in with a final thought. So, what is a piece of advice that you would give to somebody who is trying to take that first step into getting um their toolbox a little more full with some more tools?
Well, yeah, I would say, start online. You know, the internet is a wonderful thing. Make sure you do proper and well researched searches. I never take anything first, face value when I'm looking something up online. I would look up the industry standards, like the companies that are industry standards, like Avixa for the CTS certifications, or PGI. I recently got the AES membership,
Mhm.
uh, and those have chat rooms, and there's always communities that you can join, whether it's Facebook groups or even on Reddit. You know, they sometimes some of those Reddit. Uh, I don't even know what they're called. I don't
Chat
go on Reddit a
rooms,
lot.
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm so
Threads.
sorry, Reddit friend. Yeah, Reddit threads. I think I'm so sorry, Reddit. Reddit fans. I'm on the outside looking in when it comes to that. But these different chat rooms, it's all about community. You know, at the end of the day, we're human beings, and we rely on other humans to make it to where we need to be. But just start with research. Like when I was looking for my CTS license, as soon as I found a VIXA, I started researching it, and I got the test booklet,
There you go.
and then reading through it, studying, go on to the next one. Dante, Atmos, go through Avid. You know, you can get your Pro Tools. They have certifications for Pro Tools to show that you're and like you said, you could write beats in your room, and the experience is super good. You know, I always say, if you can't do it, you won't do it. Um, but like you said, the certifications help keep that experience, and it notches you up and up and up. So I just do the research, and there's always somebody to reach out to. You don't have to do anything alone. Um, but it's just a matter of putting the first foot forward.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
I will piggyback on that. So you were saying, yes, lots of extensive research, stuff like that. Um, and so I'm gonna give a word picture in this. Think of your desired career path like it's kind of like a pyramid, but more like the top of a like a what is it? Like a system flow kind of thing, like flow chart. So this is your position that you want to be in. This is whatever that dream thing is. Do research to find out what supports that role. What uh positions, what areas, like how Christian was talking about, how you were talking about you do the sound engineering thing, but you want to support a show that is at Disney and, do the Imagineers thing and, what elements, what certifications, what things would you need to support that role, that dream job, that dream position that you're trying to go for? And this is part of that research that I'm piggybacking off of what you said. So find what supports that and then find out what's the priority, put it in a priority status. So, yes, you might need this position and this certification, but if it's not the first thing that you need to be able to make yourself look impressive, I wouldn't worry about that right now. But make it like how you were kind of saying, like a priority list of your certifications that support your role. So that's just again, the word image or the pic, yeah, the word image that I started thinking about when you were saying that. I was like, yeah, find out what supports what you want to do. So awesome. Well, thank you so much, Christian, for being on the show. If someone wants to follow you and support your journey as you are navigating this industry, where can they find you and support you?
Um, I have I have some private I haven't actually established my professional. I'm working on my website right now.
Okay.
But you can follow me on Instagram and I
Mhm,
have my tag right here.
mhm.
Uh so you can follow me on Instagram through like a minute 6. That's LIKKEAMINUTE 6. And if you ever need to reach out to me, you can also find me on Facebook, Christian Thomas Leichenhauer. And as soon as I get my professional websites and stuff added, I'm gonna be adding those links. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Christian Thomas Leichenhauer again. I'm the only person with that name, so it makes it pretty easy.
Good.
Uh, but thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Also, you can find him at any Nana Music Productions event. So if you want to talk to him about some sound engineering or if you have a project or anything like that, he is working with us. So you can reach out to him on info@Nana Music Productions, or you can just send an inquiry on our website at nanamusicproductions.com. So that way you can get in touch with Christian and work with him because like he is an amazing sound engineer. Like he catches things that I'm just like, what is going on here? So he's amazing. But if you like what you heard today, you can follow the podcast at Nana Music _ off the record. You can also follow the company at Nana Music Productions, and you can follow me at web, Webb.Tatyana M. And just remember, this podcast was off the record.